the Caz and Daz show. Of course, my name is Darren Paul, London Lions WBBL commentator. Thought I'd just chuck that in, Caz. And of course, Cazzy B, what we're going to go with this time? The Empress of Manchester women's basketball. Caz, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. I'll take that. That's, this gets more elaborate every week. I'll take it though.
Yeah, I think that's a bit more specific than just saying royalty, but
yeah.
All right. Fabulous. Caz, very exciting show today. You've already seen it on the YouTube head or whatever. But Caz, who are we talking to this evening?
We're talking to Shara Jeffries this week. And if anyone caught our show last week where we just raved about her for about 15 minutes and her stat line last week. So we're very fortunate to be joined by Shara, and we're just going to talk through her career, what life's like in Kosovo, how her basketball career has played out. Things like that. Is going to be great.
All right. Well, without any further ado, hello to Shara. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm well.
So, very quickly, we at the start of or before shows, we will have a look on the Eurobasket website, and we'll just have a little look and see what's been going on outside of our own little British-based sphere. And we came across something quite interesting, and let's just we'll just show you what it was. Shara Jeffries, 65 points, 10 rebounds. Sorry, Caz, I'm stealing your gimmick. 10 assists and 22 steals. It was by far the stat line of the week. We've actually christened it stat line of the millennium because I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. So that is just a brief introduction to anybody who didn't see last time. We just raved about this for about 15 to 20 minutes. And you are the player behind that remarkable stat line. So I've got just diving into my first question. How does it feel to have the greenest light in the history of the sport of basketball?
It's kind of crazy. It's like everybody like, you really did that. I was like, yeah, yeah, I really did do it. It's kind of crazy that it really happened.
When you're in that moment, when you're in the game like that, and obviously, the basket's huge, everything's going in for you. What's it feel like? What are you getting quite pumped up after everything's going in?
It's just keep doing what you're doing, and you're gonna get the results. So I was just like, it's working, so why stop doing it now?
Absolutely. So we taken quite a big interest in the Kosovan League last season because it became really famous to Caz because of her stat line of the week. And so we started following it with some interest because the stat lines in that league are outrageous. Again, nothing like this, but still pretty incredible. So how did you get started in the game of basketball, and how have you ended up in Kosovo? So why don't you just talk us through your early years in basketball?
So I started basketball at the age of 8, 9, 10 years old. Fourth grade, we had bitty basketball. It's called, for the little kids, we call it bitty basketball in Ohio. And we were just training and doing different drills to introduce us to basketball. And then we just started playing each other. And my family is very athletic. So I guess I was like, let me try this out. All my friends are doing it. We all wanted to do something and be active outside of school. So we always wanted to play sports. So I was like, let's do basketball. And then I worked hard every single day, like nonstop. I tried my best for everything. And then I ended up moving to California in this league, WNBA, that really helped me to get me professionally and play basketball now in Kosovo.
So you played at Alderson Broaddus University in West Virginia. So that's a D2 school. That's a great standard of basketball. Like, how was that experience? How was your college game?
College, it was very fun. It was a great experience. I did 5 years. Of my first year, I redshirted, and so I practiced with the team my freshman year, and to get better with the older seniors, juniors that was playing, and so I learned from them. I had time to develop and get used to the system. So that whole year off, I just got better. So I got an extra year to get better, to actually get into basketball my freshman year on the court all the way to my senior year. So that was perfect. Like, it worked out very well.
So it sounds like redshirting for you was a really positive experience.
Yes. It was never a bad thing about redshirting.
Good. What was the biggest thing that you learned or took away from that redshirt season?
I think I learned from looking at how the coach ran things in the game and practices. So I got to really have a feel of it to be ready for next season and have a head start from other girls coming in or still there on the team. So that really helped a lot. On the bad thing is I'm not able to play basketball with the team. I'm just sitting there watching when you really want to play for an entire year.
Yeah, I guess that is a really valuable experience, like you said. If it gives you a different perspective seeing it, or do you almost see it from a coach's perspective of what they're trying to do?
Right. Yes.
So you've already alluded to it. So after you graduated college, you went and played in the WUBA League, the Women's Universal Basketball Association.
Yes.
Talk us through that. Firstly, what is the league for people who aren't familiar?
The league is a semi-pro minor league for players that want to get exposure, film, and stats to play professionally overseas. That was really the plan for a lot of the females and women that was in that league, and players that were already overseas playing and had WNBA experience were playing with us as well, for them to stay in shape and to help us out to get exposure, so other teams and coaches can look and say, I know her, she's in this league, so she knows how to play if she's playing against her or with her.
I mean, to say that, people are like, oh, she knows how to play. Yeah, I'd say so. You were Rookie of the Year for Oakland Warriors. Again, just talk us about that experience. That must have been quite the thrill.
I moved from all the way from Ohio, so it's literally from one side of the map to the other side of the map. Within 2 weeks, I moved for the whole summer to play. So it was a new thing, having to get used to knowing people out there, trying to connect with people, trying to get ways to get to the gym. So I finally connected with somebody, and he let me in the gym every single day, shoot on the shooting gun, practice with his players, play 5-on-5 with his players every single day to stay in shape, to get better and train with them instead of just waiting to the game and play. So I was still working out and still practicing hard just to get where I want to be.
No, that's awesome. And again, let's put the graphic up. It shows, because, to be rookie year, that's huge. Caz, you've got a little bit of experience with this league. Tell us what you know.
So I was following this league because one of the players who played for Manchester last year, Sophia Song, she went back over to California and she was playing for the LA Mamba. So I was kind of watching it because of her. So I was catching a few games, and I think it's such a good thing to have after you guys have finished college and before you go start anywhere pro. It's a good filler league, isn't it? You've got it can give you a branch in between. What did you find the competition like? Because obviously you're playing against some people your age, and then some older players that have played, like you say, overseas and in the WNBA. How did you find that?
It was faster paced, but it was very helpful. Like, you adapt to it really well. The competition is there, so you have to be on your A game every possession, the entire 40 minutes of the game, because one mistake, these pros are gonna take advantage of you. So you had no room to make any mistakes, or the game would change quickly.
Yeah. And you had so you guys got through to the semifinals.
Yeah, the semifinals.
Yeah. But in the quarterfinals, you had a 40-point, 8-rebound game against Santa Monica.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. And so that's your first experience of it. You guys get to the semifinals. Is it something you would go back to next year with the same team, or is it the kind of league where you maybe just play a one-off to do a bit of a showcase?
I would love to go back and play again, just to get more experience playing with other players that's pros, and to get better playing against real competition.
What was the travel and the schedule like in that league? Because just again, I am a little bit of a novice on that league. I'll hold my hands up. But it seems like you got teams from all over. So what was the travel and things like?
Well, we stayed in the Oakland area of California and San Jose area. There was a lot of players. They call it the Bay in Oakland. We the female that was in charge kept the games close, the gym close for everybody to travel there without having to spend much money to do it, for us to travel to the game. So the games were like 5 minutes away from everybody that played in the Oakland area, besides the LA teams.
So do you feel like any little unfinished any unfinished business with this league?
I think I did what I needed to be done for me to get here, but I think I could look back and do more. Always do better. Yeah,
you were also all WNBA second team and the all-star team for the WNBA East as well. How'd you get in the all-star team for the East team?
Yes.
When you're playing on the West?
I think the coaches picked who they wanted on their team.
Oh, right.
So the coach picked me on his side of his team, and then the other coaches picked his team.
Okay. That makes sense. Sort of like how they do in the NBA now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cazzy B.
I think it's I just decided for the league, like I think that's a great thing. We should have that here, or we should have it in Europe as well. And I mean, I know there's a lot going on in Australia all year round, but I think that's a really good bridge between college and the pros. It just sounds like a really valuable experience.
Well, I mean, Europe in Manchester, Caz, the home of basketball, pretty much in the north at least. It's time that we get the Cazzy B Summer League going.
So you finish WNBA, and then are you looking for somewhere to play? Are you waiting for some offers to come in? How did Kosovo come about?
Just teams and coaches and clubs hitting my agent Marcus up that seen my film and that wanted me to come here.
And what did you know much about Kosovo or the league, or were you just like, yeah, I'll take it, this is an opportunity?
No, I had no idea anything about Kosovo.
Yeah.
But opportunity is the opportunity.
Definitely. So how are you finding it? Because I think, are you the only foreign player on the roster? Is it just you at the moment?
We have an American now.
Okay, right. How are you finding that as well? Because obviously I guess the language barrier, the culture must be quite different to Ohio.
It's very, very different. But luckily, they speak English to where they can understand me. I can understand them.
Okay, that's good. It can be a bit difficult otherwise, can't it?
Yeah, I haven't had to use Google Translate yet. So
right. Okay. And what's the so we, like we said, we've been following the league a bit, but we can't find anywhere that we can actually watch it. It doesn't seem to be streamed anywhere, so we've not really been able to see any clips. What do you find the standard like? Because sometimes looking at the games, the scores can be a bit lopsided, then sometimes they're kind of close. Is basketball quite big in Kosovo, or is it kind of is the league a bit is it newish to people?
I'm not really sure. I think it's kind of new.
There's 6 teams in the league. You play for, is it Trepça?
Yep.
Yeah. We weren't sure of the pronunciation. And is there much traveling involved in that? Are you going big distances, or does it seem like nothing compared to traveling in the States?
It's about an hour.
Oh, it's
From
fine.
it's about an hour for each team.
And what's the biggest difference you found in the style of play there compared to college?
I think it's more physical, and you could get it away with not with fouling a lot, but you can always adjust to that.
Yeah. It's
How have you found? Because talking to players in this country, sometimes they click immediately in terms of how refs call the games. How have you found it with adjusting to, like you say, the physical style and the way the referees want to call games?
I just matched the intensity to them, so we could say it's going to be a fair game.
Okay, so basically you see what the opposition are doing, maybe getting away with, and you're like, I can do that. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, what are your, ambitions for this season as firstly as a team, Trepça? Like, what do you guys want to get out of this season?
We want to get higher in the standings, so we can for in the next half of the season that we could go play other countries as well.
Oh, talk us through that. How does that work?
I believe the first the top four teams will play other countries. I'm not really sure. I think that's what they had told me about a week ago, that if you're top four, we could get to play other countries, and that would be great for the league and the club as well.
No,
Yeah,
that would be. Go on,
the exposure that you guys would get would be really good. Yeah.
Yes.
And what about you as an individual? What do you want to get out of this season playing in Kosovo, playing for Trepça?
I want to have as much film as possible, have great stats, so I can move up, to make my name, get out there, to move up in the higher leagues.
Have you got any eyes set on, because you've been in living in Europe for about a month? How long have you been?
Today's a month.
A month today.
Yeah.
So is there anything anywhere that you're like, do you know what? I wouldn't mind playing in this place, or is it just a case of wherever it takes you, you're good? You don't have any destinations that you would like to try?
Wherever it takes me, I'm fine with.
Considered, I don't know, Manchester, for example?
Hey,
Caz would try and tap you up for Manchester.
we could
the great
with
opportunity.
we could do with a guy that shoots a shooting guard. Yeah, keep an eye on the British League as well. There's we've had some great players. I mean, we've got some great players, haven't we, Darren? And we've had players come here and then go other places in Europe, Australia, for opportunities like that. I think it's just growing in this country. It's never been. It's just getting bigger at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, we've had this players flirting with the league as well, flirting with the WNBA, I think, which is awesome.
We have Temi Fagbenle, who played for Minnesota in the WNBA. She plays for GB. So, yeah. But she doesn't play in the league, does she? No.
No, I was wondering where you were going with that. No, she plays in Turkey. So what has been the biggest, I don't want to say culture shock, but I can't quite think of another word, but the biggest thing that you found about playing in Kosovo that's like, oh, this is very different?
The living is very different to me. It's very different from the United States.
What in particular?
The bathroom is kind of difficult.
Okay.
The bathroom setup is difficult.
Fair enough. Say no more. Nothing more need to be said there, I don't think. And in terms of stuff just like food and such, like how are you finding? Are you keeping to your old diet? Have you changed things up?
It's pretty much the same. I usually get the same stuff every single day. The typical cheese pizza.
There we go. So, people at home, if you want to average, Kaz, you've got the latest stats, but if you want to do things like this and things like this, Tashara Jeffries says cheese pizza is the way to go. Yeah, that sounds like a winner.
Most definitely cheese pizza.
Kazzy B.
Pasta a day before a game, always.
Oh, there you go. Kaz.
Yeah, just I guess one last question maybe. So is playing pro something you've always had in mind that you want to do? And at what point in your college career, I guess, did you realize, yes, this is something that I can do and I will be able to do?
Yes, I always wanted to play professionally because I put so much hard work into it, and I have trainers that got me to it, to get me to it, and have success for it. So my mentors, they always speak highly of me, so they kind of pushed me for me to get here. So that's really why I wanted to. Maybe my sophomore year of college I never wanted to stop playing basketball. Like, games were fun. I was like, I want to keep doing this after college.
When did you, similar question to what Kaz just said, but when did you realize that basketball was something that was going to be realistic to get you to college, and then who knows where that could take you from beyond there?
My junior year of high school, we had 2 new coaches, and they really said, you have the talent and skill to be a great player after high school and even college. So I took that into consideration and say, you're right.
And how many basketball players do come from Sandusky, Ohio? Is that a big basketball hotbed, or?
No, it was just me right now.
Yeah, just you flying the flag.
Yeah, for
That's
now.
Awesome. That's awesome. Kaz, do you have any more questions before we get into our little bit of quick hit nonsense at the end?
Not so much a question, just I think that's great that then people can see where you've come from, and see where you are now, where you're going to go in the future, and see that you've done it, and you're this. I've just lost the word.
Inspiration
that people can aspire
hero.
to. They've seen what you've done, and they go to Shari's and I can do this as well. I think that's really great for people coming up, young girls coming up in Ohio like that.
Right. Yes.
So a couple of quick hit questions that we like to ask people when we get them on. Won't take up too much more of your time, but growing up and maybe today, who are your basketball idols that you looked up to and admired and enjoyed?
I'm from Ohio, so I love LeBron James.
Yeah.
I love LeBron.
Is he the GOAT for you? Is he the greatest of all time? He's
the GOAT. He's most definitely the GOAT.
There we go. Perfect. Where is there anything about his game that you particularly enjoy, or is it just him, the whole package?
Just him taking it seriously and studying the game and being a leader on and off the court. Just even off the court, is very amazing that he's helping a lot of kids in Ohio with the school, his new school and stuff like that. So it's just him as a person, and off and on and off the court is very, I love it.
Is there anything you've taken from his game, or is there anything that you've taken from the game of other players where, you've seen and you've really tried to, I don't know, model yourself on that, because you've got to be your own person, but there are things that you really like out of people's game?
I had read Kobe's book in the summertime, and he was saying stretch, 6 a.m. workouts, work out all the time to get better. So I try to do what he did in the book.
Right. So we got LeBron's game and general demeanor. We got Kobe's work ethic. I mean,
yes.
Taking those two things, you're never going to go too far wrong. What's your favorite place to play basketball? Your favorite place to
An inside court.
Inside court. So is there one specific court that you're like, do you know what? If I could go and play a game anywhere in the world right now, I'd go and play there.
I would love to go play on either an NBA or WNBA court.
Oh,
That makes sense. And final question, and it is a bit of a silly one, but it's one that we like to ask people. What is your condiment of the year?
My condiments?
Yep. Your favorite condiment this year?
As in?
So we have people go ketchup a lot. We've had hot sauce. I think somebody tried to bring in what's that horrible stuff they put on bread? I don't know.
Butter?
Marmite, that's it. Somebody tried to say Marmite.
I don't know why, but I just started using ranch a lot lately.
That's a strong answer. That's a good answer. I like that. That's out there. All right.
That's a good one. I like it.
So, thank you so much for your time, Tashara Jeffries. We'll just flash up your socials again. You're on Twitter at Shara. Here. Where else can people find you? And can people watch you playing in Kosovo this year anywhere?
I think we're starting to have games on YouTube shortly. We're just having to figure that out to either live stream it or just put the game on the next 2 to 3 days.
Okay, awesome. And can anybody find you on the other social media platforms?
You could find me on Facebook as well. Tashara Jeffries is my Facebook.
There we go. So if you need to catch up with all things Tashara Jeffries, then those are your locations. Of course, the Caz and Daz show, we will be keeping tabs on Kosovo because it is absolutely wild over there, the numbers that we see. And we'll be keeping tabs on yourself, Tashara. So welcome back anytime that you want to. Right, I'm going to quickly wrap things up. Amazing. Tashara, you playing on the weekend?
Sunday.
Who you playing?
We play Brishkimi, I believe the name is.
There we go. So make sure that you follow all things that you can to see how Tashara got on for Trepça against Bashimi.
I believe that's the correct way.
All right, wonderful. Tashara, thank you so much again for your time. Really appreciate you joining us today. And for everybody at home who took time to watch this, as always, thank you. Stay well, stay awesome, and keep following all things Focus Hoops. You know, it makes sense.